Napa Valley is kind of one of wine's biggest topics these days, and is kind of, I don't know, at this point, an old hand in it. At least relatively to the rest of the areas of California. And they're known, of course, for their big, meaty Cabernet Sauvignon, as well as their kind of rich and heavily oaked Chardonnay. And both of them are really quite spectacular. Napa Valley is, you know, one of those kind of God's gift to wine sort of places. It doesn't actually ever really need to rain there to offer moisture, because the fog kind of drops in at 4 in the afternoon every day and keeps everything really regulated in terms of its temperature. One of the great things and really shocking things about Napa Valley is its consistency of vintage. It very rarely has a bad vintage, and very frequently has great vintages. And for the most part, a regular vintage in Napa Valley is still a pretty solid thing, partially because of the characteristic of that fog dropping in, partially just because of the kind of Northern California warm day, cool night kind of characteristic, and it suits both Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon quite perfectly. It is different in many ways to the way we perceive the viticulture in France, right? France is wholly much cooler than Napa Valley is. And so it's interesting that they grow the northern French varieties such as Chardonnay, and central French varieties such as Cabernet Sauvignon in Napa Valley, but something happened and they just absolutely totally work. And stylistically, I mean, they're incredibly distinctive. They're very, very fruit forward. I mean, the cabs seem to just explode with cassis and black cherry, and the Chardonnays, that they really have that kind of honeyed vanilla sort of character to it, which to some degree comes from the oak. But it is become one of the world's great stages for top wines, and a fun one to kind of look through. I guess the major issue with Napa is these days you really got to pay for it.